This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
This is a big decision in terms of fiscal expenses, so we balance that given the situation.
A significant move by the Prime Minister, the plan to temporarily suspend gas taxes. How much you could save.
Braden is bringing men's artistic gymnastics representing Canada. He's the only one from Canada going.
Claiming a spot on the international stage in gymnastics. The Island family hoping to make their son's dreams come true. Plus, Adam finds out why an unexpected visit from a pair of seagulls is proving so meaningful to a woman in Esquimalt on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Hot on the heels of his majority win, thanks to a complete sweep of 3 by-elections, the Prime Minister today temporarily suspended the federal gas tax. It affects gas, diesel, and aviation fuel and means when you go to fill up your tank starting Monday, you'll pay 10 cents less per litre. CTV's Abigail Beeman breaks down what finally convinced Mark Carney to step in and help Canadians struggling with skyrocketing fuel prices.
Fresh off 3 by-election wins, Mark Carney's first act as leader of a now majority government, suspending the federal gas excise tax.
It's real relief for you and your family at the end of the day.
Starting Monday, expect to see pump prices drop by 10 cents until Labor Day, 4 cents for diesel and aviation fuel also included.
This is a big decision in terms of fiscal expenses, so we balance that given the situation.
The Prime Minister pegs the cost at $2.4 billion, hoping things will improve in the Middle East before the end of summer. The war led to a massive gas price spike.
Not good enough. Canadians cannot afford to gas their tanks. We want all gas taxes eliminated for the rest of the year to save Canadian families $1,200.
It's a temporary quick fix.
This analyst says to lower prices long term, you need to lower demand, which means keeping prices high.
But the federal government has decided to take the easy route and wave a 10-cent drop in front of the electorate. And good luck with that.
While many Canadians across the country tell us every cent counts.
It's disgusting. Poor people that need their cars to go to work every day or bring their kids to nursery. It's not fair.
Even just like when your car is at a red light for too long, you're like, oh my goodness, my gas is running out.
Oh, bravo to Mark Carney.
Next week is going to be 10 cents cheaper.
Right. That's why I got $15 today. Usually I fill it.
I think it's good, but I think it should be for all the time.
CTV News also reached out to the airlines, which all say relief is welcome. Air Canada said it can't predict future prices with a volatile Middle East. WestJet said more measures are needed for meaningful relief, while Porter said the drop will have an impact on overall operating costs and be represented as part of total airfare. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
There are no immediate plans to help offset the high cost of fuel here in BC. The minister in charge of the province's new task force to deal with rising costs and supply chain management says they are managing a spectrum of issues coming from the ongoing conflict in Iran.
Certainly have taken steps, as all of you will know, around carbon tax, one of the largest reductions of costs around fuel. We'll look at other measures as well, but we are looking at this as a complete spectrum of the challenges we're dealing with, not just the fuel pump question, which is important, but also how do we ensure we have medicine, how do we ensure we have food, how do we ensure that we have the fertilizer we need, how do we ensure that our supply chains can adapt to the challenges that we're seeing all around the world.
Yesterday, the province said it's bracing for medium and long-term impacts to supply chains in industries such as healthcare, agriculture, and transportation, and the task force will look at ways to scale up resources and planning as needed. From tax cuts to tax increases, Langford City Council voted to approve its 5-year financial plan, which includes a 10.22% property tax increase this year. Langford's mayor says council looked at several scenarios to keep taxes low and managed to bring that number down from 15%. The mayor says there are 3 main areas that take up the bulk of the increase: the RCMP contract and building out the asset management fund, which is to maintain city infrastructure. The third is just dealing with the higher cost of everything.
You know, we looked at any given item, you know, what the percentage would change if we reduced an increase or completely removed it. I would have rathered us to be a little lower, obviously, but I can honestly say we went a full scale through everything we could through multiple meetings and right up until including the last council meeting.
The financial plan will need to go through its first 3 readings later this month, but so far has the unanimous support of council. A medical clinic on the Saanich Peninsula is sounding the alarm over funding cuts, which it says could affect its delivery of services at the local hospital. Shoreline Medical says it provides 1/3 of the doctors for inpatient care at the Saanich Peninsula Hospital through the Doctor of the Day program. The clinic says for years the costs were offset by the Saanich Peninsula Hospital Foundation. As of this month, that funding is no longer in place. The clinic says it will eat the $150,000 for now to maintain its service levels in the hospital and is calling the lack of funding concerning.
It's a lot of time, coordination, and physicians away from the clinic in order to staff the hospital. And so we have to be concerned with what happens in the clinic. And of course, it's going to impact that if we don't have the funding. But bottom line, we have a very positive frame of mind, and we truly believe that going forward, there will be a way that will be found.
The clinic hopes another solution can be found and is accepting donations to maintain its service levels, which is 12 doctors in the program. A Campbell River family is looking for a little help to make their son Braden's sports dreams come true. The young man with Down syndrome is thriving since taking up gymnastics, and his success is posing some financial issues for the family. The CTV's Andy Garland reports Braden was chosen to represent Canada at the World Down Syndrome Games in Bulgaria. But without some extra help, he won't be able to go.
Good, and jump 2 feet down.
Braden is a gymnast at the Campbell River Gymnastics Club.
What do you like about gymnastics?
It was pretty good.
The modest 24-year-old with Down syndrome has been involved in the sport of gymnastics for several years now.
Out of nowhere, this kid could do a cartwheel, and one thing led to another, and he could do an amazing handstand.
And there are certain aspects of the sport he likes the most.
We got a backflip and twist in the high bar.
Braden's family applies gymnastics for being an inclusive sport, and his coach has noticed huge strides.
Just the balance that he's showed and his abilities have really skyrocketed over the years.
Last October, he represented Canada at the first Pan Am Open Championships for athletes with Down syndrome.
And he came home with silver for Canada. Absolutely amazing. We're so proud of him. Like, we're proud of him no matter what.
Now Braden has his eyes set on another world competition.
I'll go Bulgaria.
He's been invited to represent Canada at the 2026 Down Syndrome World Championships in Bulgaria.
And Braden is bringing men's artistic gymnastics representing Canada. He's the only one from Canada going.
He'll be doing all 6 men's apparatus events, with his strengths being floor and vault.
Really been working hard to represent our club in Canada at an international level, so he's pretty excited.
Braden's team has to cover the cost to get there and have been doing bottle drives, seeking sponsorships, and have launched a GoFundMe campaign, which has raised roughly $2,200 of the $20,000 goal.
Because it's something big, bigger than we've ever been a part of. He's going to compete with other countries, and so Canada's finally on the map for this.
The competition is in June, and Braden hopes you can help get him there for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Andy Garland, CTV News, Campbell River.
A humanitarian team from Vancouver Island has returned from Ukraine, its 5th mission to the war-torn country. The team delivered numerous projects, all made possible through generous donations from this community here at home. CTV's Brendan Strain was on that trip and shows us how those projects will help the people of Ukraine.
In a country being torn apart by 4 years of war, every day at 9 a.m., residents come to a halt as time almost stands still. pausing for 1 minute of silence to pay homage to those soldiers that have fallen. Traveling to Ukraine is a team from Vancouver Island, embarking on its 5th humanitarian mission.
Now more than ever, we need to help the Ukrainian people.
Vancouver Island supports Ukraine. We're able to deliver on nearly a dozen projects to 4 separate communities and 3 hospitals.
People can donate blood here, especially for the military.
Beginning with a $50,000 donation to purchase the necessary equipment to establish a blood bank at a children's hospital in the west of Ukraine. The regional hospital conducts more than 5,000 blood transfusions every year, predominantly on children battling pediatric cancer.
Chemotherapy kills blood, and we need the blood for the save of life of our children.
In the city of Olika, to counter Russia's relentless attacks on Ukraine's power grid, this generator was purchased in order to power 2 schools as well as a small kindergarten. Some requests are small. Folding chairs or computers for communities where money is mostly diverted to the war effort. On the medical side, the team was able to donate 2 specialized tourniquet sets to a military hospital, one staying here to be used during operations and rehabilitation work, while the other will be pushed forward to be used on the front lines.
To see what eyeglasses are best for you.
And in another hospital, eye examination equipment was purchased.
We had a donor wanting to give some money towards the children of Ukraine.
For the country's smallest citizens, there were 4 special donations of $1,000 each to put towards a project or outing for children who have lost a parent during the war.
To give them an opportunity to just get away from the war and do something that they can enjoy themselves for a brief opportunity.
4 years into the war, there's a sense here that most are overwhelmed, making trips like this and support from Vancouver Island a welcome sign that Ukraine is not alone in its fight. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Western Ukraine.
And tomorrow, Brendan will introduce you to a Ukrainian commanding officer who tells his personal story of resilience and survival, fighting his way to safety after becoming trapped behind Russian enemy lines. We'll bring you that story tomorrow. Still to come, travel upgrades.
That those seats necessarily will cost more because of this, but we'll have more premium seats.
Air Canada's latest remodel to enhance comfort, but at what cost? 8 degrees, looking gray out there. Josh will be back after the break with the full forecast. April showers bring May flowers. Josh, more rain?
Yeah, after a wet day today, there's a chance of some scattered showers tomorrow. It's not going to be as heavy and steady across parts of the island. You can see by this evening, the rain moves out of the Victoria area. We get a little bit of clearing, then a couple scattered showers. Maybe hitting the Victoria area in the morning. I think the better chance is going to be sort of through the afternoon hours for a hit and miss shower. There's even a slight chance we may see a few lightning strikes in parts of the island tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that in the afternoon hours. Thursday morning, sunshine to start. We'll see a little bit of increased cloud cover across the island through the afternoon hours, but nothing all that thick. 9 degrees tomorrow in the north. Chance of showers, especially in the morning. Clearing in the afternoon. Highs of 11 for Thursday, Friday. It warms up heading into the weekend. 13 on Saturday. Yeah, some scattered showers for Saturday, potentially steadier rain on Sunday. Inland areas, chance of showers. Again, the best chance is going to be early in the day. 8 degrees for a daytime high. So handful of degrees below average. Cool one tomorrow, but back to 13s with some sunshine there Thursday, Friday. Chance of evening rain Saturday and periods of rain on the way for Sunday to close the weekend. Out on the west coast, chance of showers. Again, best chance is going to be in the morning hours. Should see some sunny breaks in the afternoon. High of 9 and then back to double digits. 12 with some sunshine Thursday, 10 on Friday, and somewhere in the 10 to 15 degree range for daytime highs Saturday, Sunday. In Comox, 10 degrees tomorrow. Chance of scattered showers. Most of the day, though, just a mix of sun and cloud. Mainly sunny to partly cloudy and about 14 on Thursday, and still in that 12 to 14 degree range for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So pretty close to average for the back end of the week and the weekend. Best chance for rain on the weekend is going to be Sunday, but even Saturday night, you might see some precipitation roll in. Chance of showers in Nanaimo tomorrow, high of 8. I don't think it's going to rain all day, but scattered showers potentially. Most of the day, just a mix of sun and cloud. 14, and mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies for Thursday, and then a mix of sun and cloud, and 12 on Friday. Somewhere in the 12 to 14 degree range through the weekend as well, with that chance of rain on Sunday. And here in Victoria, we've got a chance of some showers or periods of rain on Sunday as well. After tomorrow, though, it looks pretty dry for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tomorrow, 10 degrees, mix of sun and cloud. We'll call it a 60% chance of showers. May see a few scattered showers in the morning. Better chance is going to be in the afternoon. Then mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies. And still on the cool side there Thursday with a high of 9, but warming up nicely into Friday, Saturday. CTV Weather's brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations.
Thanks, Josh. Air Canada is introducing new cabins that it says will change passengers' air travel experience. The question is, how much are travelers willing to pay? CTV's Genevieve Beauchemin reports.
We're bringing the beauty of Canada to the sky.
Air Canada is calling it the most significant cabin redesign in its 90-year history. Passengers will catch a ride in the upgraded interiors, including the luxury of some lie-flat seats on long-haul flights. This aboard the company's new Airbus A321 XLR and Boeing 787-10 aircraft. The rollout will begin this summer, and all cabins will eventually see upgrades.
We've got 93 brand new aircraft on order. And the last time we came out with a new interior was about 10 years ago.
And the airline is borrowing from the national anthem and naming the project Glowing Hearted, leaning into Canadian themes. The comfy seat, big screens, larger overhead bins are a big investment, and the airline will no doubt need to pass on costs to travelers.
So it's not that those seats necessarily will cost more because of this, but we'll have more premium seats, which is really good for our business.
Still, it could squeeze out lower-cost seats, but analysts say the market is split between low-cost carriers and luxury brands, and Air Canada is finding its niche on some aircraft.
People are buying premium services. They're buying the premium tickets. So, I think they're kind of figuring out that, the cattle call that we have in the back of the bus is something that they want to stay away from.
Privacy wings, big screens. Some frequent flyers say paying extra for extra luxury is the future of flying.
If you got a little bit more comfort and you're going to go that way, then yeah, that's the way you go.
Well, it just depends on what kind of budget you're on. Yeah, I can't afford first class or business.
Air Canada calls it a reimagined travel experience, and some analysts say the overhaul was long overdue. Genevieve Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
The gap between Canada's richest and poorest is growing. The income gap measures a difference in the share of disposable income between households in the top 40% and in the bottom 40%. And according to Statistics Canada, it reached 46.7 percentage points in 2025. The agency says the lowest income households saw wages rise slower than the overall average, and their investment incomes fell because of lower interest payments on savings. Coming up, Roberta's birds. Adam finds out why an unexpected visit from a pair of seagulls is proving so meaningful to a woman in Esquimalt. Next on the Sawatsky sign-off.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
107.3 Virgin Radio is Victoria's #1 hit music station. Home of Bailey and Johnny in the morning. Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to 107.3 Virgin Radio everywhere.
Finally, Adam finds out why an Esquimalt woman is feeling so grateful for a pair of unexpected visitors on the Sawatsky sign-off.
Well, countless happy memories fill Roberta Flora's home.
Look at me with my baby.
This one chair,
my husband's chair,
is empty.
I was with my husband till his last breath. The doctor came in and said, "You did it right. Until death do us part."
Yet leaving the hospital without Gianni after 33 years of marriage felt wrong. Roberta was engulfed by grief. Until that night, she felt an unexpected and comforting presence.
And he said, "It's me." I go, "Gianni, yeah, you were so sad they let me come back for a while."
But when she woke up, her Gianni wasn't there. Although Roberta then heard something was.
And I go to the window and then they're, "Go, go, go." Yeah.
It was a couple of seagulls, which Roberta said she'd never seen before, let alone landing so close to her home.
I think my husband sent them.
Why do you think he did that?
Because he loves me. He showed it every day.
And he's still showing it every day.
Still. Yeah.
Because every day since the day after her husband died, Roberta says the seagulls have stopped by for a visit.
Go, hi, you guys, I'm coming out.
Well, sometimes she feeds them.
Hey, what you doing? Come here.
Every time they have a conversation.
Well, I tell them how cute they are and that I love them and I'm glad they come and visit me.
And rather than get stuck and grieving,
I love it. They're my friends.
the seagulls remind her that Gianni would want her to keep living.
Oh, it's just wonderful. You forget all the bad stuff.
And you remember all the good stuff you can still find when you start looking for life after loss.
Yeah, they keep me happy.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Esquimalt.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
You know, they are kind of cute. That was it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.